almost close your project because the projects tend to burn out when you made like an EP or an album or something, and then your project would, you know, it's got like it's a kind of digital shelf life. So like, if you don't invest in it yourself as an artist, you don't have a team of investors outside of the office team and other artists, sincere and stuff like that. You don't have that. Because then, when you put in that extra bit, that's the difference. Because it's that extra bit and what it can do for you in itself. You see what I mean?
Really hurt me, baby.
Especially when it comes to things like marketing. But that doesn't take anything away from it. I would never give anyone a debt contract. I don't provide debt contracts. I'm not an independent record label. I'm not supported. Our community brand isn't supported by a major. You can look to promoting yourself to majors like UMG and Sony and that, to see if you get their A&R's interest. If you're interested in aspects of commissioning anything for yourselves off-brand, so off-brand in them, or even for what a project that you've done at the community brand, I would be interested. I would bear it in mind. I do a loan for myself in terms of like an emerging project, an emerging product and service within the program project of like myself. I've already tried to sell like a few of my development projects as an artist. I've sold myself to the interests of UMG and Sony again, like recently. So you could always do that. I would bear it in mind. I would consider it. There's no reason not to. I do warn you though. I warn you. Beware. Don't go taking on a debt contract. If you get tied to servitude, it's just a servitude indenture or indenture servitude and stuff like that. That's like an American term for a debt contract. If you get tied contractually to anything like that, those agreements, then you will be stung left, right, and centre. Literally, like if your product and service in a debt contract didn't do well within the first year of like obviously like 4 different quarters, and it just didn't do well, they would be looking to drop you like literally the year later, and that pardon me, and still have you doing work and stuff and tied to every aspect of the debt you've caused, the debt you've incurred for them within your debt contract. I'd avoid it like the plague. I'd avoid it like COVID. And like at the end of the day, it's like those type of contracts, they're worded in a very particular way. It might seem very appealing way to make a bit of money quickly in terms of like they might advance you a bit of this and a bit of that, and like tell you that you can have this and that later with it. But if it don't work out, like debt contract, it's debt contract, and it makes it all the more worse if it just goes tits up and like you bottom out on the bucket of it. Just so like avoid it. Commission's different. There's nothing, as long as it's not, there's no debt contract wording, has sub-paragraphs and shit like that tied up in that kind of contract. Commissioning, nice and simple. Just keep it nice and simple. To make them simplify everything. If they're honestly going to give you the time of day to like see that you're emerging in that, whether you break or not, whether you break on how you're emerging or not without them. But if they can see you're emerging and they like what you're doing, and they want to do something with you because of it, make them simplify everything. why should you like have to pay out £3.5 million or more, like 5 years into a 7-year contract because you signed a debt contract? Do you understand what I'm saying? That's whether you can afford £3.5 million or not. Do you see what I mean? But why should you? That's just one of those things. So many enough artists in America complained about it for years, and I'm thinking like the guy from Smashing Pumpkins and stuff like that, and everything. Enough people complained about it for donkey. Even what they call Goldie Looking Chain, they got dropped from their major because it wasn't working out, and they were getting into debt. And now obviously they signed a debt contract anyway from the get-go. So like the society, like I said, it's for members, it's for subscribers, it's for like shareholders, it's for people that want to invest, it's for all interested parties, it's for the public, it's for performers, it's for writers, thinkers, blah blah. It's for everybody involved in every aspect of the broadcast, radio, TV, and the internet aspect of all the publishing we do. For broadcasting and webcasting, podcasting, radio, TV, internet, everything we do. I'm thinking like, in terms of our programme in general, there's so much we can do, even independent filmmaking. I know a bunch of people, like obviously like, I'm interested, I always did drama when I was for one of my GCSEs, but like I'm interested in like independent filmmaking here in the UK and abroad, and there's lots of competitions every year. There was one recently, which I remember posting a few months back, and that around the same time as like just after Reality Check, there was a competition on, and they were just looking for something. It was only meant to be like 30 seconds long and not very long, but you were meant to fulfill every part of what they wanted from that like 30-second clip that they wanted you to create independently. It was like a pretty big independent filmmaking competition, but stuff like that, and we can do stuff like that. We can do stuff like that with the theatre, even with the theatre, 4K or not, 4K film, like video filming or not. We can do stuff just like that here, right here in the community, here in Baines, here in Avon and Somerset, and stuff, and publishing our own documentaries and things like that, or like stuff. Are we publishing prose? I think that we're practicing. Personally, it's going to take us a few more years before we get officially recognised. So in terms, even nomination or no nomination, like in terms until we got like nominations, until we're nominated for it and we actually like we get awards or we don't, I'm only just starting. We're only just starting to develop our notoriety, and our reputation, our credibility as like professionals. And keep working on all the information of our ownership so that we can really pitch ourselves as a brand in terms of like our publishing and what we're capable of, and our catalogue that we're amassing as well. So obviously the DistroKid that I got, it covers 5 genres. That's like you're talking Spotify and Apple. I've been talking to people online about playlisting and stuff like that, and our podcasting. We will be buying another license for the webcasting aspect, a Sincere. To be quite honest, it's going to be more of a talk show than anything. There will be music now and again, obviously, and like some like poetry and stuff like that. People passing through in terms of like who we officially recognise, who is an influence and an inspiration to us, we're happy to partner with in terms of like them passing through the district or like the region and promoting themselves, as well as collaborating and everything else. So looking at that and how we represent the whole group of owners, authors and composers, singers, songwriters, performers, and representing them, as well as, pardon me, providing updates for everybody. Keeping the focus of it on the very difference we're trying to make, by providing all of this. There will be protective right issues. There will be a complaints procedure if need be in place and stuff like that, in terms of like performers and their repertoire, in case for whichever reason, one or more reasons, that they might want to dispute claims or remove stuff. Pardon me. The international licensing aspect that we all share. Be an educational thing. It's an education, so it's of health, it's of education, it's of work. It's so like in terms of institutions, colleges and universities and stuff like that, there will be aspects of them and their involvement, and formally for people, anyone who's interested in that, the formal stuff, and obviously like the directives involved in like Europe and Germany and stuff like that, and here in England, we address competition law and stuff. Obviously anti-competitive is bad, you're allowed to report that to the government. If you had any anti-competitive issues, people being anti-competitive. So that's pretty much it. I will be asserting my role after this to create a public group at like one of the business pages at Facebook that this event's at, and start creating the first 3 societies, that are brand societies within our collective management model and role. I get the style of it right so that all the definitions covered, and I keep it simple, and then we can just post some nice stuff like Canva things, like some Canva things and stats and stuff like that, and maybe make some little video clips and that now and then to like, and things like that, and some redirect links and links to redirect people and stuff. So yeah, I just keep it simple. Alright, thanks for watching. Obviously there'll be more updates and stuff like that. That'll be a bit like this. Help stop the spread of the virus. Stay safe and well. Good luck to everybody that's studying or whatever. Even if you're in the hardship of any physical disability and that. Don't feel trapped, don't feel isolated. Contact me if you want someone to chat to or messenger or something. And stay safe, stay well, take care, peace.